shit up with a pop-pop.
Good answer. By the way, the UAA...
A lot of kitty lifts.
That's got... Well done.
I'll eat the fuck out of you, Jeanette.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Did you get it? I
try
think
putting
you
the
got
yellow.
it.
I'll figure it out at the end of the game, just like I did last
Yeah.
time.
Your tiger.
Hello. Okay. Hi. I feel like shit.
Now that is groovy!
I stayed up too late. I couldn't really fall asleep right away after playing Halo also, because I was having so much fun. Sometimes that happens. It was such a challenge too, you know? Getting a good time on that level. Did I get a haircut? No. Just waiting for FCP to load.
My belly feels great!
Hi Adam. Can you say hi to my grandma? I'm visiting her right now and she listens to Sardonicast.
Hello, grandmother of Ashbury Street. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Okay, so yesterday I recorded a fuck ton more of Kimba audio, like a good 11 minutes or something. So I gotta cut through that, basically. It took me so long to like get into work mode today. I woke up at like noon. It's like 4:30 right now. I tried so hard. I wrestled with the idea of like doing an exercise stream thing, and I think I'm just gonna save that for tomorrow. I'm probably gonna have like an early night tonight or something. Not every day can be a fucking 10 out of 10, you know? But I'm forcing myself. Got a bit of food, you know? So that should help. Am I done with all the footage and now I'm just doing voiceover and stuff? Yeah, pretty much. So like there's stuff that I go back to and reference while I'm doing the voiceover for like context. But yeah, I've seen all of it now, so. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Let's look at one of them. So I re-recorded a couple lines because I thought that it would make more sense. Let's look at the most popular video on the subject titled Kimba 19. Let's look at one of the most popular videos on the subject titled As You Can. And so basically what I did is instead of redoing the whole line, I just redid part of it. Let's look at the most popular video on the subject titled and then we go. Videos on the subject titled Kimba 1966. And it sounds like a complete sentence and no one is the wiser. It sounds like a seamless sentence, even though it's two different takes. Just I wanted to redo part of it, and because depending on if you count those like Collider videos or whatever they are, it's not the most popular.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Oh, yeah. So excuse me. And there are definitely mistakes that they made in terms of addressing this controversy. Whether or not the original intent of this video... Yeah. So I wanted to add a little thing here, I believe. Just to make myself more clear in my position. Because Disney's evil. And don't get me wrong, I hate Disney too. And there are definitely mistakes that they made in terms too. And there are definitely mistakes that they made in terms of addressing this controversy, but the level at which the Kimba crowd grasps at straws to support this conspiracy theory is just unfathomable. Now, some of you might be thinking, Adam, this is just too. This controversy, but the level at... All right, and then what is this one? Whether or not the original intent of this video was to make people believe in its presentation and even inevitable. There is so much blatant misinformation. Alright, and then I think it just adds on to the end. Unfair comparison, to say the least. There is so much viral Twitter thread is not... Okay. So let's listen to how this sounds. Let's look at one of the most popular videos on the subject titled Kimba 1966 versus Simba 1994 versus Simba 2019. As you can see, there are a lot of similar shots here. To the average viewer clicking on this video, this is a pretty open and shut case. Even if all these shots were taken from random points in the Kimba movie to make it more cohesively form-fitting towards the narrative happening in The Lion King, there's still far too many similarities to call it a coincidence, right? Well, you might want to reconsider that thought, because if you believe that, then you are inadvertently admitting that you believe that Kimba the White Lion ripped off The Lion King. What this incredibly misleading and dishonest video failed to mention is that 100% of the Kimba footage shown here is from the 1997 Kimba film, released 3 years after The Lion King. You have been lied to. Now, this whole controversy is pretty common knowledge at this point. Evil Disney sees popular and successful story from notice because Disney's evil. And don't get me wrong, I hate Disney too, and there are definitely mistakes that they made in terms of addressing this controversy, but the level at which the Kimba crowd grasps at straws to support this conspiracy theory is just unfathomable. Now, some of you might be thinking, Adam, this is just one video from a clickbait channel who have seen... Well, as it turns out, the second most popular video on the subject, sitting at over 3 million views, is from a Kimba fan. Theory is just unfathomable. The second most popular video on the subject, sitting at over 3 million views, is from a Kimba fan channel titled Kimba and the Lion King. How similar are they? And within this video, they compare footage and production images from both the Lion King and Kimba. And wouldn't you know it, a heavy amount of the Kimba footage being used is from the 1997 Jungle Emperor Leo movie, 3 years after the Lion King. They even used shots from a Kimba short film from the year 2000. Whether or not the original intent of this video was to make people believe an exaggerated version of the controversy, its presentation and even video description wind up making that inevitable. Don't you just love how the title of the video is vague enough that they can absolve themselves from any... Came out after the Lion... Yep. I re-recorded these parts to stick in here, so I'm, like, not as mean. Because I was, like, pretty heated on the... pretty heated on the, first run.
short film from the year 2000. Whether or not the original intent of this video was to make people believe an exaggerated version of the controversy, its presentation and even video description wind up making that inevitable. And this is exactly why people should avoid having strong opinions on subjects that they haven't done their own research on. Every time I've had a conversation with someone about the Kimba controversy, it seems as though they were under the impression that Kimba was a film from 1966. And although yes, there is a 1966 film, that doesn't even come close to covering the scope of just how much Kimba there is. There's the 52 episode series from 1965, and after the 1966 film, there's another 26 episode TV series the same year. There's a 52 episode series from 1989. There's a 1991 straight to video film with no dialogue. There's the 1997 film, and finally there's a 2009 made for TV movie. Now when you lie by omission and package this controversy in a way where it seems like you're comparing one 90-minute film to another 90-minute film, filling up a video with 7 minutes worth of similar looking shots gives people the impression that it's a pretty open and shut case. Unfortunately, what the vast majority of people don't realize is that we're comparing a 90-minute film to well over 3,000 minutes of Kimba footage. And the similarities that do exist between The Lion King and pre-1994 Kimba are so incredibly selective. It is an unfair comparison to say the least. There is so much blatant
All right, I think that flows a little bit better.
A viral research. A viral research. A viral Twitter thread with 20,000 retweets. Then they just took the with it. That is not ran with it. That is not true. There is zero. True. There is zero. I am not it. I am not it. I am not it. I am not exist. Now I'm gonna go.
I feel like such fucking garbage today. I just didn't sleep enough. I stayed up too late.
But first I feel like I should.
Ugh.
It's clear. What I am presenting meaning I believe meaning I meaning I believe
Who's Mr. Popo? Is that the Dragon Ball Z guy? Get a bowl? No. It's the same size as a bowl. Why would I waste 2 dishes pouring it from one into the other for no reason? Ugh. Oh my god.
Perspective, meaning I believe that it is before, and I also believe that before, and I also before, and I also Kimba. What I am arguing against is the have ripped off Kimba. The general but as I'm about to consider this a coincidence, but as I'm about to find a way, let's start out with names. There are quite a names. There are quite a few characters' names. There are quite a few people. Sounds very similar, but what you did not
I was planning on seeing Onward. It looked like kind of interesting to me, and then it got like a 60-something Metascore, and I was like, well, there's no way I'm gonna enjoy this at all. So why bother? Yeah, like an average Pixar movie will get like 90 something, you know? So it's like what I'm not really interested in just being bored for 2 hours, so I've got other things I could be watching, you know.
Swahili. Kimba is Healy. Kimba is Healy. Kimba is Kimba is
Man, I wish I wasn't so fucking low energy right now.
the anime. They wanted to change
But you know fucking what? There most people in my position,
marketable. The name
most people that try to be self-employed, keyword try, would take this day off and be like, no, I can't, stay in bed and mope. But I'm trying, okay?
is a thing, and this is support
I'm fucking trying.
was a thing, and this is supported.
When does A Quiet Place Part 2 come out? Is that soon? Or is it already out, or
Same
what?
motif. Mufasa. Same motif. Mufasa me.
Yeah, I'm not great with caffeine.
Same motif. Mufasa means
Sometimes it just makes me feel more like shit and doesn't energize me. There's like a certain point of tired where it's like, caffeine's just gonna make me feel like bad.
fun. To act as though the name illusional. There was a not illusional. There was a Nazi invented. Now when I say invented. Now when I say that mean what I mean. Many in the Kimba character, as if you're not allowed to use kick character, as if you're not allowed to character, as if you're not Africa. But what these people don't all this warthog only series, and they are
Yeah, I managed to talk about a good amount here.
original series, and they are
And I think I've got like the structure pretty good for what I want the video to be. Basically, as I recorded, I went like back and forth between like clarifying overall position to specifying like individual criticisms sort of thing, or like going, you know, trying to correct the record on some of these individual criticisms, and I'll work up as I go along. So like the stuff that I recorded
all gargoyle
so far has been like
gargoyle G
the origin of the Kimba Simba names,
word. He spends a
the origin of the idea of lions being royalty,
Howard. He spends a
the
they're ugly when he's first
the character of Pumbaa versus Gargoyle E. Warthog, who shows up in literally one episode of Kimba.
for here. So in the middle of the episode,
And yet somehow people use him as a criticism and pretend like he's some sort of central character to the show. Yeah, I'm gonna leave Scar for later in the video.
out of fucking nowhere. So gargoyle
I don't want to start with that one.
fucking nowhere. So gargoyle G can get the medal. So at the end of the again, and here's what's real. This series is that aside series is that aside from end of it, it's constantly changing characters. So when people make points in the show, the themes of this show are insert clip of
That's just notes for myself.
add some more voice.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna add more voiceover there.
The well over 3,000 minutes.
I just
worth
like whisper notes to myself sometimes. It makes sense, just for like reference. If there's like a certain point in the clip where I should do something.
Simpsons, and just like
Oh yeah, should I start that converting now? I'll do it after.
Simpsons, and just like the
Maybe I'll start that converting now. Hold on. Yeah, that South Park episode. Yeah. In a little bit, I'm gonna make myself a White Russian, and you'll see me perk up like right away. Honestly, perking up just thinking about it. All right, South Park. Here we go. And what? It's MKV, and I want to convert to. Ugh. Yeah, you know what? Do you ever not get much sleep at all, and then your stomach's kind of feeling like shit because of that for no reason? That's where I'm at right now. Ugh. Usually I get more than 6 hours of sleep, I think. I don't like to try and survive on no sleep. I used to be able to pretty well when I was younger, obviously, but now I'm almost 30. So, fuck it. All right. So this is going into 6 hours is good. I can't do it. I feel like right now a good sleep for me is like 9 hours, which seems like too much, but I don't know. I like to feel like refreshed a bit. And also I've been doing a lot of exercise, and I've been losing weight too. I've lost like 10 pounds since January. So I think that is also like a factor here. What's your town? You are a boy? How old am I? I'm 28. I'm turning 29 next month. If Bungie was making the new Halo, would I have more confidence in the new Halo game? Slightly. I mean, I don't even... Halo 2 and Halo 3 are certainly better than Halo 4 and Halo 5, but I have a shit ton of issues with those games, too. I only really consider Halo 1 to be, like, a really great game. Halo 2 and 3, they put their efforts into the multiplayer more so than, like, the campaign and the story and all that shit. I actually considered Halo 2 to be kind of bad in many ways. It was, like, fucking broken. There's so many pop-ins in the cutscenes, and, like, they scrapped, like, a quarter of the game because Microsoft wanted them to release it for Christmas or whatever. Which is why it's so anticlimactic, is because it wasn't even supposed to be the last level. The they removed a lot of like fun aspects of the play style, like you couldn't launch vehicles over top of each other anymore because they would just blow up if you nicked them into the thing. There's like, was dual wielding in Halo 2? Yeah, it was. Yeah. They added dual wielding and it was really, really lame. And they nerfed every weapon. The Needler, they were like, it's too powerful. The pistol, they're like, it's too powerful. We gotta nerf it. Even the rocket launcher, like everything's just weaker for no reason, and it really pisses me off. There's no more health packs. It turned into like Call of Duty style health. There's so much about it that I hate. I'll still play. Like, I'll probably do the whole get all the achievements things, because like it's still nostalgic for me. I played it a lot when I was younger, but yeah, it's definitely not my favorite. The music's always great. The music's probably the best part of every Halo game. Every Halo game except one where you could say like the whole thing is the best part. But the music never gets shitty. Except they didn't even work with him in fucking Halo 5. I'm not talking about the Breaking Benjamin song. And in fact, in Halo 2, there's some parts about the music that I don't like. But they're very few and far between. What is my plan if I get coronavirus? Stay home and recover. So I'm a vapor, and also I think I technically have asthma. I don't think you grow out of that. So I had asthma when I was younger. I had like inhalers and shit. I had asthma attacks when I was younger. That hasn't happened in a long time. But I don't know if coronavirus shit will still like negatively impact me more because of that. So I might be compromised in a way. Yeah, exactly. So I might be considered to be someone with respiratory issues, unfortunately. I actually bought an air concentrator online just in case. Because if like hospitals get filled up, right, and there aren't enough beds for everyone, and people actually need to be on like medical you know. You think fever is the first symptom? Okay, well. Yeah, anyway, I think this is what I want. So yeah, if I need to, I can always hook myself up to an oxygen tube at home now. Which is kind of funny.
That's so foolish.
I know, I agree. And that's what, hopefully this is a wake-up call. The business.
Oh, 6 million views? Holy shit.
What you said when you sat down was absolutely perfect. That the timing could not have been better. Well, tell everybody what you do, Michael.
Well, thank you. I'm, for lack of a better term, a medical detective. I've spent my whole career tracking infectious diseases down, trying to stop them, trying to understand where they come from so we can make sure they don't happen in the first place, but most of all, trying to respond to situations just like this.
Just like this. And just off the bat, how serious is this? Is this something that we need to be terrified of, or is this overblown, or how do you stand on this?
Well, first of all, you have to understand the timing.
What
in
the
sense that it's
fuck?
just beginning. And so in terms of what hurt, pain, suffering,
Failed.
happened so far is really just beginning. This is going to unfold for months to come yet, and that's, I think, what people don't quite yet understand. What we saw in China, I'm convinced, as are many of my colleagues, as soon as they release all of these social distances, mandating stay at homes, haven't left their home in weeks and weeks kind of thing, when they go back to work, they're on planes, trains, subways, buses, crowded spaces, manufacturing plants, even China is going to come back again. And so this really is acting like an influenza virus, something that transmits very, very easily through the air. We now have data to show that you're infectious before you even get sick, and in some cases, quite highly infectious. Just breathing is all that you need to do. So from this perspective, I can understand why people say, well, wait a minute, flu kills a lot more itself every year than this does. And ours, remind people at the beginning. Probably the best guesstimate we have right now on what limited data we have to say, this is going to be at least 10, 15 times worse than the worst seasonal flu year we see.
10, 15 times worse in terms of fatalities?
Yeah, yeah. And just gentlemen, in fact, I brought some numbers. We conservatively estimate that this could require 48 million hospitalizations, 96 million cases actually occurring, over 480,000 deaths.
What the
that can occur
fuck
over the
is
next
wrong
18
with
months in
what?
this situation.
It
So
just
this is not
crashed.
one that to take lightly. And I think that's what I can understand if you say we're looking at 10 deaths or 20 deaths or 50 deaths. Just remember, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about almost no cases in the United States. And now that we're testing for it and watching the spread as it's unfolding, those numbers are going up astronomically. 3 weeks ago, Italy was just living life just fine. Now they're literally in a virtual shutdown in northern parts of Italy. And that's the challenge with an infectious disease like this. It can spread very quickly, and it also
Yeah.
can affect people. I think maybe to put this into modern terms, this is something we think of often when we think of pre-antibiotic days, the old-time medicine. We have an employee at our Center for Infectious Research and Policy at the University of Minnesota, and she has a dear friend who lives in Milan, Italy, and she works at a hospital there. And she texted this to this employee of ours last night. And this was an email that came out yesterday from one of their physicians in Milan, at the largest hospital there. He said, I just got a very disturbing message from a cardiologist at one of Milan's largest hospitals. They're deciding who they have to let die. They aren't screening the staff anymore because they need all hands on deck. And they have very small areas of the hospital dedicated to non-COVID patients, where they still screen doctors. Everybody else is dedicated to COVID patients. So even if they're positive, meaning that they're sick, but they don't have a severe cough or fever, then they have to work. He says that they're seeing an alarming number of cases in the 40-something range, and these are horrible cases. So we need to stop thinking that this is only an old person's disease. But this is what I'm going to unfold. Not just
No,
in
it's
Wuhan,
not a long
but
movie.
in
It's a
Milan,
South
but
Park
here
episode.
in Seattle, and this is what's going to continue to rollingly unfold throughout the world.
Let's try
Where did this
MP4
rumor come from that
instead.
it's an old person's disease? Is it just because the majority of the people that have died from it so far have been older?
Yes. In fact, that's the primary risk factor for dying is being old and then having certain underlying health problems. For example, in China, those men over the age of 70 who also smoked, were 8 to 10% of them died. 65% of older Chinese men smoke. The case fatality rate, or the percentage of people who die in women in that same age group, is only about 2%. In that case, very few women smoke. Now, the challenge we have is that that's the Chinese data, but there are a series of risk factors that we worry about that if they overlay on this disease are going to cause bad outcomes. And we happen to be right at ground zero for one of the major ones here in this country, and that's obesity. We know that obesity is just like smoking in terms of its ability to really cause severe, life-threatening disease. And 45% of our population today over the age of 45 in this country are obese or severely obese, and it's men and women. So one of the concerns we have is we're going to see more of these, I guess I would call very serious, life-threatening cases occur in our country because of a different set of risk factors than we saw in China.
Now, you mentioned that there's some sort of
I'm
incubation.
gonna try and convert it on my other
Become sick,
computer and
they're
see what
contagious.
happens.
What is this incubation period, and how do we know about it?
When we call something an incubation period, we're talking about from the time you and I got exposed, meaning I was in a room breathing the air that somebody else who was infected with the virus was expelling out, I breathed it in. How long from that time period to the time period that you get sick? And what is that? That's what we call the incubation period. So that's when case numbers can double or triple in every so many days. In this case, it's about 4 days. So, and we actually have data there from people who were exposed one time or one time only, and we know when they were exposed, where they were exposed, and how soon do they get sick afterwards. So the chauffeur in the car where the individual was sick or showing symptoms, then the chauffeur gets it 4 days later. They were there one time only.
And if the chauffeur does not show any symptoms, he's still contagious.
He could also be contagious too, and that's one of the things that's challenging here is you and I might get exposed to somebody who is totally asymptomatic, no symptoms. That virus would appear, well, that's not a very strong virus, but in fact, when it infects us, it could kill us. So we've seen cases of fatal disease that were exposed to people that had minor symptoms themselves.
Wow.
And this is what's unfolding here, and this is where I think it's such important. I said why the timing is so important because Joe, we really got to get information out to the public. There's so much misinformation right now, and we're going to be in this for a while. This is not going to happen overnight. I worry. I keep telling people we're handling this like it's a corona blizzard. 2 or 3 days, we're back to normal. This is a coronavirus winter, and we're going to have the next 3 months or more, 6 months or more that are going to be like this. And so far, this thing has been unfolding exactly as we predicted it. We in our center put out a piece on January 20th and said this is going to spread worldwide. At the time, people said, no, it's just China.
Yeah, I still submitted a press application for Cannes, but I'm not gonna buy my fucking plane ticket anytime soon. I don't know if I'm gonna go or if it's still happening. I think they're a little naive to. Apparently, what's really hilarious about it is Cannes Film Festival, like the director or organizer or whatever. Apparently, they were offered the opportunity to protect against pandemic for like insurance, and they refused it. And that was like when coronavirus stuff started happening too. That was like 2 weeks ago or something, and they refused it. And so France has now banned gatherings of 1,000 people or more, and Cannes is still like, oh yeah, we're gonna continue our film festival. So I don't know if they think they have some kind of loophole or what's happening, but I'm not getting my hopes up for Cannes Film Festival, that's for sure. Because, I also have a hotel booked for BLFC, which is around the same time. I don't think I'm gonna buy my plane ticket anytime soon. I might just cancel that. I don't expect that to be a thing that will probably happen. Well, let's see if I can convert this shit here.
We put out a piece the first week of February and said this is going to pop probably the last week of February, first week of March. Because what happens is it has what's called an R naught, or a doubling time of these every 4 days. So two increases doubling every 4 days. So if you go from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, it takes a while to build up. But when you start going from 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 to 4,000, that's what we're seeing happen in places like Italy. We're beginning to see it in some ways up in Seattle. That's what happened in China. And when people are confronted with that, suddenly this low risk phenomenon that everybody talks about isn't so low anymore. And that's what we need to prepare people for.
Now, what can be done? Like, what can the average person do? I see people walking around with masks on, wearing gloves. Is that nonsense?
Largely, yes.
Yeah.
First of all, let's step back. The primary mechanism for transmission is
Largely.
just the respiratory, just breathing. In studies in Germany, which just have been published literally in the last 24 hours, they actually followed a group group of people who had been exposed to somebody in an automobile manufacturing plant. And then they had 9 people that, with this exposure, said, if you have any symptoms at all, contact us. We want to follow up. And they all agreed. Well, they got infected. And so in the very first hours, just feeling bad, sore throat, they went in and sampled their throats, their saliva, their nose for virus. They did blood, they did stool, they did urine. And they found that at that very moment, when they first got sick, they had incredibly high levels of virus, sometimes 10,000 times that we saw with SARS, in their throats. Meaning they were infectious at that point already. And they hadn't even had symptoms yet of related nature. They weren't coughing yet.
Wow.
And that's where we're concerned, because that's the kind of transmission. I always have said, trying to stop influenza virus transmission like trying to stop the wind. We've never had anything successful to do that.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this file. Damn it. Huh. Won't even convert on this computer. I'm gonna have to... I might have to buy it on iTunes, but I need to confirm that my fucking iTunes converter is actually working here.
Other than vaccine, we don't have a vaccine here. So what's happening is that people in public spaces are getting infected. And the way you need to address that is, unfortunately, if you're older, over 55, you have some underlying health problems, which unfortunately a lot of Americans do. We have obesity. Then right now you don't want to be in large public spaces and trying to potentially get infected. So you can take care of that part. As far as what can public health do, we can talk about this. We're not going to have a vaccine anytime soon. That's happy talk. We can close schools. One of the big challenges we have right now, if we close schools, what do we accomplish? In influenza virus, when we close schools during outbreaks, because it turns out kids get infected in school and they're like little virus reactors. They come home and they transmit it to mom and dad and brothers and sisters. And so we close schools. Sometimes Christmas breaks are always great for kind of putting a dampening effect on flu. In this case, kids are not getting sick very often at all, which is one of the really good news features of this disease. In China, only 2.1% of the cases are under 19 years of age. And,
Why is that?
we don't completely know. And I'm going to come to that in a second, because they're getting infected, it turns out. One study showed that they still get infected with the virus, but they don't get sick. And we have that happen. There's a disease called infectious hepatitis A, where we have outbreaks in daycares. And the way we know we have an outbreak is because it's transmitted through the stool, fecal oral, is mom and dad and the daycare providers all get sick. And the kids, those symptoms, we go and test kids, are all positive. So some diseases will manifest primarily when you're an adult, but not as a child. This one appears to be the same. So do we close schools or not? If we're not really spreading the disease, because it turns out that if we close schools, a recent study done showed that 38% of nurses today in this country who are working in the medical area have kids in school. And if suddenly we're closing schools for 2 or 3 months, who's going to take care of those kids? 1/4 of the American population has no sick leave. If we close schools, they don't get paid if they have to stay home. So when you ask what can we do, we have to really be thoughtful about what we do. Are we doing more harm than good by closing schools, for example? We'll say, we got to do everything we can. Or do we just tell people, it's going to be limiting your contact as much as you can, and that's really about what we can do.
And limiting the contact, is that really going to help?
It does, because it's like putting rods in a reaction. If you don't have as much close contact, you can not transmit as much. If I'm sitting in a room with 100 people and we're kind of sharing air, the transmission is remarkable. Right here off the coast of California, you've got your cruise ship. Cruise ships are notorious for recirculating air inside the inner cabins. We've had a number of outbreaks.
That's why they're having these outbreaks on cruise ships?
And then you leave them on there. I think the cruelest human experiment we've done in a long time with humans is leave them on these ships. Get them off right away.
Should they get them off right away?
Absolutely.
What should they do with them?
Well, they can put them in quarantines of some kind if they want and follow up on them. But you're guaranteed they're all going to keep getting infected day after day.
It seems like we're not really prepared for something like this, although the CDC's been telling us for a long time that we should be.
We are not prepared at all, in the sense. I wrote the book Deadliest Enemies that was published in 2017.
Right,
Thank you. Thank you.
Go get it.
No,
Hit it.
and
Panic.
in chapter 13, the title of the chapter was SARS and MERS, a harbinger of things to come. Be pretty good at this. And then I wrote a chapter on there what a flu pandemic would look like if it emerged in China. And if you read it, it's exactly what's happened. Supply chains went down, China locked down the country, it spread to other countries, people all pointed fingers. And it's the kind of thing where we hear it and hear it, but we don't get prepared. 5 years ago, I gave a talk at the Mayo Clinic. First time I talked about this, I talked many times afterwards, and I showed a slide of Puerto Rico, a picture of Puerto Rico, and then I showed the map, and then I showed a picture of a building in Puerto Rico, a nondescript building, and I said, this is our next big disaster. Turns out that 85% of all the world's production of IV bags, the saline that we need desperately, were made in these plants in Puerto Rico. And all we needed was one Category 5 hurricane to come through and take it out. Maria came through a year and a half ago, and the world went into a major crisis with a shortage of IV bags. Now, that was so obvious that was going to happen, and yet we don't prepare.
That's so foolish.
I know, I agree. And that's what, hopefully, this is a wake-up call. The business community, I hopefully, will wake up. One of the other things we're doing right now, Joe, this is really one of the things that has me most concerned about this whole situation. Is our group has been studying for the last year and a half, with support from the Walton Family Foundation, looking at critical drug shortages. It turns out that we identified 153 drugs in this country that people need right now or they die. It's on the crash card.
Right.
It's acute critical drugs. 100% of them
So I'm
are
converting a
long-term basic
test
antibiotics for
thing
illnesses.
before I
And
buy
largely
it on
and at this
iTunes.
point, we have shortages in
Because I've been having a lot of
That was
issues with converting iTunes files in the past few days. So I just want to make sure that this works before I buy an iTunes version of the South Park episode.
chains have gone down. Our group is actively helping the United States government try to figure out, where they can get these drugs. Now, just think of this. If I came to you and said the Defense Department was going to outsource all its munitions production to China, you'd look at me and say, come on. You know what? The U.S. Defense Department has no more access to these drugs than anybody else. They are beholden to China for these drugs. 690,000 Americans have end-stage renal disease right now. Most of their primary drugs are coming from China. And now with the shutdown, and what's happening with this, and this is why I was so concerned, because we are at risk. So even this situation as unfold, it's not just about what the virus does to you, it's about what the entire system is rigged up to be, and what this virus does once it gets into it.
Jesus. You make me nervous.
Well, before we get done here, we're going to talk about what we can do to get people not nervous. Because this
What?
is...
It's too late.
No. I mean, we're going to bring you around to take, it's my job is not to scare you out of your wits, it's scare you into your wits.
Okay, that was very interesting. I gotta poop. BRB. Hey everyone, sorry about the delay. I'm gonna be back in like another 10 minutes.
Say what?
I feel like garbage. I feel so shitty right now. All right. So I want to check to see if this converted properly, and if so, then that means why is it not giving me audio again? What the fuck? God damn it. The one program I was using for converting, like ripping the DRM off of like iTunes files on my PC, it like hasn't worked since I upgraded to Windows 10, and I uninstalled everything and reinstalled everything, and it seems to like be converting something now, but it's still not, like, it's giving me like just a blank file with subtitles and no. Oh, what? No, yeah. Yeah, it's just giving me like a blank file with subtitles with like no audio or video. And it's really frustrating. I'm like wondering if maybe I should install it on my Mac instead now, which is really lame that I'm resorting to buying the same program twice essentially, which is just so fucking stupid. Let's see. Ugh. I might just wind up doing that. Like, fuck it, it's a tax write-off. I'm spending way too long on like trying to just get this shit working properly that I might as well fucking do it. Let's see if the same code works actually. Maybe I can register with the same code cross between PC and Mac, which would be awesome. And then let's see, does iTunes need to update? I'm gonna do that. That's really frustrating though. That's really annoying. All right, so I have the key on my other computer for the software. I'm just gonna have to type it in manually over here. All right, let's see if this works. Okay. Registration info is invalid. So I'm just gonna have to fucking buy it. Lame. Fucking lame. Buying the same program twice because it stopped working, essentially. $60. Fucking lame. It's a really good software to have. I just fucking really annoying that I can't just have it work. Excuse me. All right, so I have a different license key now. I have registered successfully. Okay. Thank you. That's fucking annoying. Okay, so...
There he is.
Thank you.
Wow, $100. That's a lot of money.
It ain't much, but it'll help with them $60.
Thank you so much, Gaben. Thank you so much. Okay, so I was going to use clips from Hamlet anyway, so now my Hamlet iTunes file is downloading. Looks like it's going to take a bit, but I'm going to use that as the test file before I download that South Park episode. I feel like absolute garbage today. Oh. What? I'm not just skeptical about Chaos Walking. I know it's going to be a gigantic piece of shit. It's been delayed by like 2 years. It was like ready a year ago, and then they delayed it until next year. And they're sticking it in January. Apparently it was so bad they didn't know what to do with it. I'm excited for Chaos Walking because it looks hilarious. Wait, I'm gonna have to keep going with this. All right, back to this audio editing. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm like legit excited for a terrible, hilarious movie. Would I do a YMS on it? I don't know.
See is The Simpsons, and just like the
All right.
animated sitcom Kimba the White Lion.
Wow!
Sitcom Kimba the White.
That's a lot of money!
Almost $60, horse boy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How's Philip Solo in real life? He's cool. I met him before that point, actually. I went to the con, and then one of my friends was like...
Was in Africa. Show a clip of...
One of my friends was like, do you know Philip Solo? He was at the con yesterday. I was like, what? And then I texted him. I was like, come back to the con. And he brought me some drinks. Because I was running out of booze.
When there's well over 3,000 minutes worth of done before. Season 6 episode.
I'm not gonna be like I'm not even gonna be started the recording, like the voiceover process for The Lion King until after I'm done Kimba. I'm doing the whole Kimba video, then I'm editing together my music video and releasing my album, and then I'm going full force on The Lion King, of which I've already started the bulk of the work for.
Already done before. Season 6 episode is. It's an episode. It's an episode that criticizing an animated. So at this point we have. So at this point we. Well, once again.
I don't know. I'll like whenever I do the like 2003 or whatever, Eternal Sunshine will definitely be on the list, and I'll talk about it there.
Invented the idea. It's not some. Greece. It's not some wildly used. Greece. It's not some. In ancient Greece. Existed. There are so many. Common tropes are, believe it or not, one of tropes are, believe it or not, interest, as if that's interest, as if that's Kimba, what these people Kimba, what these people.
What is the best way to donate? I don't know. If you want your message on the stream, then do the Streamlabs thing that's linked in the Twitch thing, I guess. I don't think they take a cut or anything, so.
Nothing alike. Simba and
There he is!
each other, and it was only
Thank you.
each other, and it was only in each other, and it was only
Bits? No, Twitch takes half of that.
love in Kimba the love in Kimba the White Lion. The at all, they were in love from the. All they were in love. Really changed the character Kitty. Changed the character Kitty. Changed the character Kitty. improving. It was more of a Romeo scenario, and I am not kidding. Scenario, and I am not kidding when I crowd. Nearly every and reviews. And within this book he love interest. I'm sorry, but that interest. I'm sorry. Interest. I'm sorry. Existed. How on earth is that a person? Now I'm definitely not done going through each of the comparison. Now I'm definitely
Have I ever considered leaving pauses in between sentences? Yeah, where it makes sense. It's literally just the style and presentation, right? Other people don't really edit their videos this way. My personality in my content is more unique if I do things a little differently.
go further. When I talk about persuaded, and I think after will not be persuaded, and I think after
I am so fucking, like, out of it right now. I feel like I'm, like, barely awake.
it's in philosophy, I am a very person, and because of that creativity, there are plenty of creativity. There are plenty of it is a thing that one another. It is a thing and tropes. I cannot tell you how plagiarism, especially when the original plagiarism, especially when plagiarism, especially plagiarism, especially all the vast majority of all the vast majority.
Yeah, I know. I just, like, I feel more disappointed with myself if I don't get things done. And, like, what the fuck else am I gonna do right now? Like, if I go to sleep, I'd be fucking up my sleep a bit more, too, you know? I want to make it until, like, at least, like, 8 or 9 p.m. or something, and then try to sleep. Maybe take some, like, NyQuil and melatonin. Oh my god. I don't know what my favorite Bong Joon-ho movie is. It might be Parasite, but I don't know.
Signature. The vast majority. Signature.
I heard the door. I'm gonna go to the door.
Wow! $100? That's a lot of money!
I feel your software fail pain.
It was a package. For me. And it is the Dark Souls 2 video game. Because I'm very close to beating the first Dark Souls. I might do an exercise stream tomorrow. Ugh. This downloading 8 minutes.
Time signature. The vast majority of popular signature. The vast you can't just play random playing. There is a logical there is a doesn't, and I can fully understand, and I can fully to their own. There's going to be a part song, but that feeling shouldn't trump the reality. Song, but that feeling shouldn't trump popular song, but that feeling shouldn't exist when the trailer for does exist when the trailer plagiarism, basically the plagiarism, basically the full, and apparently there was a novel, but the problem place, literally every place, literally everyone that thing. Seriously, just try and pretend like you weren't.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about Kenneth before I watched the Hamlet shit. And then I realized he directed Murder on the Orient Express, which was fucking awful, and he was also in that movie. But yeah, he looks like he's got kind of an interesting career, even if not everything is great. Oh yeah, and Thor. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my belly feels great.
Thank you. I haven't seen Henry V, but I'm interested in it after seeing Hamlet.
Create that thing. Seriously, just try and became popular, and with the concept. Now I want to be clear that exist, but when I mention difference in philosophy exist, but when I mention from each other, there are very logical and these reasons it is, and these reasons exist completely independently of Kimba. Kimba the...
Alright. So we trimmed down the audio here. We're sitting at about 15 minutes long. And I haven't even included, like, put in the clips yet. I gave Murder on the Orient Express a 1 out of 10. Yeah, it was the most boring thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. It was so lame. It was so lame and unspecial and just fucking stupid. Uh, Well, that White Russian is making me feel a little bit better. I was completely right about that. We'll see how long that lasts, though. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just like so tired. And I got 6 hours. And I don't feel like I was so backlogged on sleep that 6 hours should have really hit me this hard. I hope I'm not getting sick. I hope I don't have coronavirus. But it's entirely fucking possible that I do, honestly. There's too many people coming in and out of this house. I got too many roommates. They're all over the place. Scott goes to Seattle to wrestle every 2 weeks, which is like the fucking epicenter of the US right now for the virus. 2 of my roommates are going to Seattle this weekend. We got friends over. Most of us were at Vancouver, which had a bunch of people in it. Even if I didn't go, like, if something was there, my roommates would have caught it and brought it back here. My aunt's visiting from out of town this month. My parents are coming back from the States this month and visiting me on the way back to their place. And I'm not feeling comfortable about it. Maybe they shouldn't go to Seattle then? Yeah, probably. I think it's probably a bad idea right now. But I'm hoping maybe after like this one trip this weekend that they had planned for a while, then maybe they'll just like stop planning trips for the immediate future. I don't know what I'm going to do about Scott though, because he's got like shows booked for the next like 2 months. So I wash my hands a lot. I haven't showered today, but I wash my hands a lot. I've been pretty obsessively washing my hands. Incubation period is 5 days, yep. On average. The mean or median or whatever. So if we got it over the weekend or if Scoot got it over the weekend, there's a good chance that we'll find out before Sunday. You say I'll be fine, but I've got relatives in their like 50s and 60s that are all trying to like hang around me near the end of the month. My parents and my aunt. And that makes me a little paranoid. Because you can have it and not know it. Like I could be carrying it right now. And a lot of people are apparently like completely just asymptomatic about it. So a lot of people just like don't get sick, but they're still contagious. Have I tried just going to the doctors and getting checked out? Well, I don't want to just show up at the doctors and be like, hey, I'm paranoid. Can you test me for coronavirus? And if I have no reasonable... Like, if I don't have any symptoms and I don't have any good reason to believe that I actually have it, then I might be exposing myself to any other number of people who do have it and went to the doctors and decided to get tested. And also, you're not supposed to just show up at the doctors. You're supposed to, like, call a phone line. Yeah. So there's not really much you can do about it. Other than just like watch the world burn and get really paranoid and not sleep. Costs $100 to $500 here for a test. Where are you? I would say the U.S., but I heard it was like $1,000 to $3,000. Oh, with insurance, costs $100 to $500. That's insane. Yeah, that's ridiculous. The U.S. is gonna get fucked, and Canada is gonna get pretty fucked because the U.S. is gonna get fucked. Because there's a lot of travel between U.S. and Canada, obviously, especially Vancouver. Yeah, it's free everywhere but United States. So it's not like it's instantly fatal, right? Yeah, you're right. If I get it, there's a good chance that it's not going to kill me, and, you know, hopefully there's a good chance that it won't like permanently damage my lungs or make me debilitated for several weeks or something. So, like, I'm, from what I understand, from what I know, I guess, like, I'm a relatively healthy, young-ish male. The asthma and vaping might add to it. I don't know. And there are exceptions. You never know. But I'm less concerned about myself and more concerned about spreading it to other people. Because myself, my roommates, we have parents, we have family members that are older who might not handle it well. Yeah, well, if that was going to happen, Razmig, it would have to happen pretty soon. Because once the primaries are over, it's just Biden and Trump. Yeah, that would be a tragic end to the story if Bernie caught coronavirus. That would be tragic. So if let's say Biden continued being like really handsy and kissing everybody he saw, every child that he came in contact with. If let's say he continued doing that over this outbreak and he caught the coronavirus and died, even if he won the primary, would that just go to Bernie or what? Is that how it works? I don't know how that works. And would it just go to the next person with the next most delegates, or what would they do? His VP? Does he choose his VP though before the end of the primary, or like does he really? That's like if he's already elected. Oh, weird. I didn't.
Wow, $100.
Holy shit!
A lot of money.
Here's the rest.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for helping me purchase that software. Let's see if I can use it now. So, we got this. We got this. And now we try this. Let's see if this converts fine. I'm just looking to remove the DRM, basically. I wonder if the subtitles are exported to a separate file when I do MP4, or if they're like encoded within. Because I don't really need subtitles. I don't want to convert the whole thing and then find out they're hard-coded. And I think I only need the stereo audio. So let's try this. I already I already registered. We're gonna try this again. You have registered successfully. Convert. And then theoretically this should just do its thing. I don't see any sort of like percentage bar or anything, but maybe it'll just take a bit to kick in. Tom Hanks tested positive for what the fuck? Are you serious? Jeez. Who's Rita Wilson? I don't see any percentage here. I'm hoping this fucking works. Doesn't seem to be doing anything yet. This is TunesKit for Mac, which is supposed to remove the DRM from iTunes movies, so I can like convert them regular instead of having to like torrent them or something. And if this doesn't fucking start work, like I might just restart my computer or something and try this again, cuz like so far I don't see any like progress. I don't see I pressed convert and nothing's happening, so I might just restart my computer. This is frustrating. I wish shit would just work. Now if you live in the USA, you can't leave or enter for 30 days. What? It's 4 hours long, so it might just take a while. Yeah, maybe I'll just leave this. Let's say I'll check it in half an hour. I just like, you'd think it would have like a progress bar. He banned EU travel. Does that like, did he also, what did he do about, did he do anything about like crossing the border to Canada? Because my parents are in the States right now. So I'm worried they're going to get stuck in there. And have like shitty fucking healthcare. How many people in Canada are infected? I think 100 maybe. Mostly in BC and Ontario. And I'm in BC. Only in Europe starting on Friday? Okay. I'm just gonna grab a LaCroix real quick. Hold on. It's not seltzer water, it's soda water. There's no seltzer in it. All right, let's see what I... If this was like actually converting, I feel like the fans on my laptop would be on. I feel like it would be like doing something. Whatever, I'll give it until 7 p.m. and then restart my computer. Let's see if I can... Oh, I thought you said 12% of Italy, not 12K. That would have been bad. It's still bad.
Let's look at one of the most popular videos on the subject, titled Kimba 1966 versus Simba 19...
All right, I gotta get a screen cap of that. Let's see. I don't know if there is a Blu-ray that exists of Hamlet 1996. I think the closest thing is a DVD. So, because the iTunes file is only 720p, and that's usually the case. And then the South Park episode, like, I don't want to buy the whole season on a Blu-ray just for one episode. So hold on. Yeah, 100% of Italy is not affected. Infected. 100% of Italy is quarantined. Oh, there is a Blu-ray? Because, yeah, I've had pretty good success with Blu-ray ripping. Huh. I might resort to that, but it looks like it's not even, like, the fucking... Yeah, we'll see, depending on how fast the shipping is. You're trolling. They didn't test 100% of the population. DQW, huh? Is that the Rick roll? Okay,
the same. Let's look at one of the most popular videos on the subject, titled Kimba 1966 versus Simba 1994 versus Simba...
Let's see. I might do a screen recording here. Yeah, nothing's happening. So I'm going to restart my computer. What? Why doesn't it count my registration right now? Is that what's happening? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to restart this shit. It's really annoying me. I'm gonna screen record this thing first. They canceled the NBA season? That's crazy. Nobody believed your claim, but people believed that you believed what you believed. Or you believe that you believed what you were saying. Oh my god, I'm so tired.
Everything the light touches.
I'm gonna have to, while I'm screen recording this, I'm gonna have to turn down the desktop audio so I don't get copyright claimed. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Even if I use like a online download, I don't want something that looks like super compressed, but we'll see what I can do. Hopefully just restarting my computer will fix it. Because it's seeming like it was having issues with like me registering. I don't know. It would say like you registered successfully and then it would ask me again like twice. So all right, I screen recorded that. I'm saving that. Prime Video has it to buy in 1080p. Yeah, but you can't. I don't think you can download Prime Video files. And even if you could, I would be stuck in the same situation where I'd need a program to remove the DRM, which is what I'm doing with iTunes. So I'm going to restart my computer first, and we're going to try that and see if anything fucking works. Hopefully something works. If not, like, I don't know. I might have to just, like, email them for, like, a refund or some shit, because this is stupid that I had to buy the same program twice. And it's, like, not working on my Mac even. So give me a second while I close all this shit down and then restart my compy. Thanks, lesson met. Ugh. All right, restarting. Okay, I'm just gonna do it on like default settings this time. What do you mean? I already registered. It's doing the same thing. And I'm not getting audio right now, but let's not worry about that. It's very frustrating when I'm trying to be productive and there's the things that are just like in my fucking way about this, and it's just like register. Registered successfully. Convert. Maybe I should try a smaller file. Maybe I should try like an episode of a TV show. Because maybe you're right and it's like not actually doing, like it looks like it's not actually doing anything, but it is. Like maybe that's what's happening. So I have some TV shows on my iTunes already. Let's see what C-Lab, that's a really short TV show. Oops. I'm gonna download one episode of C-Lab. All right, and then show in Finder. And it's right there. And then TunesKit. Okay, and then relaunch iTunes, yeah. And that's there.
There he is.
Years flown by. Thank you for everything, Adam. Good luck with the work tonight.
Thank you so much, Paul. Wow, a whole year. That's a lot. Thank you. All right, it's asking me to register again, which is stupid. But let's see if converting this 11-minute long episode of C-Lab actually works. So yeah, it's not giving me any indication that it's doing anything. But maybe if I just leave it for a bit, then it'll be fine. We don't know. This is upsetting. Why is everything so annoying? I'm gonna try doing C-Lab on this PC too. See, on the other computer, it's giving me an indication it's actually doing something. It's at like 10% right now. But for whatever reason, ever since I upgraded to Windows 10, it's just like giving me, it's like a basically literally just a black screen when I convert it. And the subtitles are there, but no video and no audio and just a black screen. Does my computer get really noisy when it's converting? Yeah, when I'm converting like high quality files, but right now it's like not doing anything, my laptop. So it gives me the impression that this isn't actually doing anything. So it doesn't seem like it's actually doing anything. I just get the cancel option after I've already pressed convert. So the one on my PC computer is done now, and I'm going to click on it. On the other computer, let's see. And it's literally just a black screen with no audio and the subtitles playing. And I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what the fuck happened. This software used to... Oh! There's audio.
Do something.
Just a black screen. Okay, so there is audio. Yeah, just a black screen though. And if I try putting this into like another conversion software or something, open it up there, confirmed, it's literally just a black screen. Why? So maybe I should just search this up or something. Okay, your iTunes movies not purchased movies are not completely downloaded. You can check the download. Oh my god. Like everything is fully updated. Let's see here. Oh. What the fuck is going on? Okay. And then TV shows. Gotta try one more thing here. Maybe there's like a troubleshooting thing. Sorry about this, everybody. This is kind of frustrating. I'm sorry. What's happening is like I'm trying to convert some shit to use in the videos I'm making, and everything's just fucking broken right now, and I don't know why. So this didn't work very clearly. So what I'm doing on my... Yeah, I already registered. Like, what the fuck? Why does it need me to register every time I click a button? This is clearly not working well. Okay, so... Yeah, still just a black fucking screen. No video, just black. So obviously I can't use that. Check for updates. Let's see. No, yeah, that's the current version. Help. This is really, 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 really frustrating and upsetting. Okay, what if we... let's see. TV shows, we do a different one that I know is in HD. Let's try that. Because I changed a setting on my iTunes to download in HD. Maybe that was why it wasn't doing video? It's because it was downloading an SD or something? I'm going to see if this works. Ugh. If this works, then all I have to do is re-download the other stuff. Hopefully this works. I have no fucking idea. It'd be weird if it just didn't download HD shit or convert HD shit. That'd be very fucking strange. So I'm not getting my hopes up here. Downgrade to older versions of iTunes? Yeah, I might try that. You'd think that it would just work, like, because like the version of iTunes that this is was like released in, I don't know, March 2019 or something. You'd think that they would have patched something like that. But yeah, I should try that. Yeah, this looks like more black screen here. Yeah. It's just the audio and subtitles. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to try right now. Is downgrading to an older version of iTunes. So let's see. Maybe like, I wonder if QuickTime Player might be a thing. Because what if before I do that, let's see. Before I do that, I'm going to upgrade. I don't know if it even, no, because like QuickTime Player is what it uses to play the iTunes files, but I don't think that has anything to do with the conversion. So yeah, I'm going to try. Yeah, remove iTunes. Oops, cancel. God damn it. No! God damn it, that what? It's not iTunes. I don't want to remove Silent Hill 3. Why are you doing this? What just happened? What just fucking happened? Okay. What is happening? Twelve 12.9.0. Okay, let's see. I see 12.1.3. So I'm going to try that. Otherwise, I don't see it from the Apple website. Okay, apparently when I uninstalled iTunes, it actually didn't really uninstall it. I have to like go and like actually fucking get rid of the figure out where the actual install folder is. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to uninstall iTunes. I'm going to uninstall TunesKit. And then I'm going to have to like go into my program files x86 bullshit. Delete the hell out of everything there. So that there's no other weird shit from other versions or something. Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. This is annoying.
Have fun, son. All right.
Thank you. I'm gonna pee real quick. Oh. All right. So now, where's TunesKit? Did I install that too? Uninstall that? Yeah, I'm gonna uninstall. Yes. Then, okay, that was unsuccessful. Or sorry, it was successfully removed. Now I go into like program files or whatever. Then, let's see.
There he is.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Program files. I don't see any like extra iTunes shit anywhere. When I tried installing the older version, it was like, we can't access your library because it was something something by a newer version. It's like, well, let's see if maybe library is under videos or something. Okay. I'll search. Here we are, iTunes Media. Where is this? Oh, it's under music. Yeah, get rid of that. Yeah, delete. There we go. And then empty recycle bin. And then, I don't know. Probably don't have to restart my computer. Let's see. It doesn't say I have to. So let's try installing these things again now. Let's see if the older version of iTunes will do it fine. Okay, so I installed iTunes, and then let's see if it has that same issue with my library. I have to sign in. What the fuck? I'm so mad right now. Holy shit. Oh my god. So what I'm doing is like when I sign into iTunes on the PC, then on my Mac, a thing shows up and it's like, someone's trying to sign into your iTunes. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's me. And then it gives me a code that I should use to put in on the PC. and I press OK, but there's nowhere to put the code on the PC, and it just brings me back to the regular page before I sign in, and then I try to sign in again, and the same thing happens again, and there's nowhere to put the code. I think it's because it's like 2 different versions, right? I think that it's because this version is so old that it didn't use those codes. So I'm going to actually, I'm going to have to just like download the newer version again. Holy shit, this is so annoying. This is so fucking annoying and stupid. I can't believe it. Like, how do I... Why doesn't it accept my sign-in? Should I just restart? I might just restart. Oh my god, I'm gonna restart the computer. I'm gonna stop the stream for a bit. I'll be back in like, I don't know, 10 minutes. We'll see if I can figure this shit out. Be back in a bit. Sorry.